Welcome to Some Shit We Like, episode 245. I'm Mike. This is Rick. No Bryce.
No Bryce.
We can't seem to all be together.
Everyone just has things to do. It's like
we have lives or something.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, except for me. I never have a life. So, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
As you just said. Where we talk about lots of things like movies, video games, technology, perhaps today. Perhaps today.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to rant about. Okay.
We put up our show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday, the full show, video full show goes up.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday through Thursday, bits and pieces of the show goes up. And then on Tuesday, the full show audio version goes up.
We need to figure out a better way to say that.
Yeah, I had a better way to say it, but somehow I just fucked it up. So,
let's see.
Yeah. But for now, that'll do.
Okay. That'll do, pig. That'll do. All right.
So speaking of technology.
Yeah. Let's talk about your issues.
I have some issues. So the iPhone X was announced at the new Steve Jobs auditorium, I believe they're calling it.
Something like that.
Which is kind of cool. Be cool to see that.
Except they're releasing 3 versions of a fucking phone that he's probably spinning in his grave right now that there's 3 versions
so I could say
of the phone coming out.
We're jumping a little ahead of ourselves.
Sorry.
But for now, let's just say, okay, so the iPhone thing happened a while ago. We don't break news here. And I've been forgetting to talk about this for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got the 8 and the X, or the 10. They're calling it the 10.
Are they calling it the 10?
They're calling it the 10, but it's the whole Roman... Well, remember there was Mac OS X.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
But they did call it X.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
So there's the 8, the 8 Plus, and the X.
Yeah. So basically, you already know what it is. I don't need to get into that. I think I'm going to just get into my issues.
Yeah.
So here's my issues. I love Apple. You know I love Apple. I'm a big fucking Apple fanboy.
Yes,
got my Mac over there. I still have not upgraded in so long
That's
now.
a 2004, isn't it?
No.
Oh, no. You had the 04, right?
I had a Power G5.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then I got rid of that, and then I got that one. I think it was in 2011 or 10.
Yeah, 10 or 11.
10 or 11.
Yeah.
So yeah, fuck, that thing's old now.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, I'm a big Apple fanboy. I got the phones, I had the iPhone 1.
You did have the original iPhone, huh?
I had the original iPhone unlocked.
You didn't even have the 3G. You just had...
I skipped the 3G, I think.
Yeah.
I think I got after that. I skipped that one. I think I went straight to the 4.
You went... So it was iPhone, then 3G. They did a 3GS,
the 3GS,
which you got.
Did I get the 3GS? I think I got the 3GS, yeah.
And then 4 and 4S. And I think I talked you into getting the 4.
I got the 4 because
right?
of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, I just kept getting them. So yeah, I'm just trying to let you know that I love Apple. I like what they do.
He was honestly thinking about switching to a different phone when the 4 came out. Yeah. Because the 3GS, I think is what you had at the time, was taking, like, the battery life was garbage. It was just taking shit all over the place. It was just an old phone. Yeah. And
I held on to it as long as I could. And then I got the 4, and then I held on to that one as long as I could. My jumps are not usually when they do the Plus or the S's or whatever. Yeah. My jump is usually each individual even number. Because I like even numbers.
What was the streaming service that you used? So, okay, the reason I'm going to tell this real quick is because you were going on a trip.
Yes.
To see a good friend of ours band. Or good friends of ours. The whole band is friends of ours. Plastic Parachute. And you were going to see them in Denver. And you're also going to visit family or something.
Yeah, family.
And you were like, I want to record it. I wanted to stream it. I don't remember what the streaming service of choice was at the time.
I think it was...
It wasn't YouTube.
Well, no, definitely wasn't YouTube. It was a green. I know their color was the green color.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, it was a hot at the moment streaming service.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like, Rick set up his phone and, like, the back end was streaming their concert, which was pretty rad. It was, like, in a little bar. It was pretty rad.
Yeah.
And I talked you into getting it because I was like, you can just stream on it. And you were like, oh, yeah.
Early streaming services, man.
Yeah. Crazy. Anyway, I'm sorry.
So yeah, I got the 4, and then I got the 5, and then 6, and then the 7 Plus. 7 Plus was my first big phone.
Big phone, yeah. Your first man phone.
Yeah. But yeah, that aside, I like what they do. I usually love their UI. I love their UI. It takes sometimes a while to getting used to. So now we're getting iOS 11, which honestly, I look at it and I saw the demonstration. I don't fucking like it.
Right.
I think it's ugly. I think they're trying to copy Android. I'm just jumping straight into the hate now. I don't like it at all. Is it something I could get used to? Yeah, I can get used to it, but there's still.
Are you still probably going to get the phone? Yeah, probably.
But I'm holding off right now, updating my 7 right now, because I've heard battery draining issues as usual. It happens all the time when they release their latest iOS. Battery draining issues, Bluetooth, not necessarily Bluetooth issues, but if you say when you lift up the control center or whatever and you turn off Bluetooth, it's apparently still on.
Oh, really?
So you actually have to go into this command or into the settings to turn that off.
Yeah, and flip.
So it's I never turn off Bluetooth, and
I usually leave it on anyway
because of my car. So yeah, but that's kind of annoying for anyone who does have that issue. But yeah, there's little issues popping up here, which will get fixed in a firmware update.
Yeah, they always do.
That's not that big of a deal. But let's jump into the iPhone 8, which looks good. I like it. It's the same thing.
It looks like the 7.
Yeah, it looks like the 7. It's the same thing. You got
iterative.
Your thumb scanner. You got your,
which I didn't think I would like.
That. It has the newest processors, all that good stuff.
I never thought I would like a fingerprint scanner.
I never thought I would either, obviously.
But I have the LG V20, and it's the best thing on the planet. Because there's a lot of apps that support the fingerprint scanner, so I don't have to type in passwords for sensitive things like my banking account app. Yeah. I can now log in PayPal. I can log in with fingerprint and never have to enter my password again, which is good because you can't log into those apps now without the fingerprint unless I go into settings and turn it off, and then it'll ask me to change my password because they want you to do that when you turn that setting off, which is smart. So someone can't just take your phone, turn off that setting, and then try and hack away and get into your account. It forces you to enter your old password and then change it to something different. Okay. So it's an extra step that will deter people from trying to do that stuff, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, I never thought I would like the fingerprint scanner. And yeah, they have it now on the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus and on the X, but the X is odd the way it is.
No, the X does not have.
I thought it had it under the screen on the bottom, no?
So that's where I start getting to more hate. Necessarily. Yeah, I fucking hate.
I could have swore the video showed somebody using their... No?
As far as I know, no.
Okay. I'm probably wrong.
Because they were having issues. They wanted to do that. Apple wanted to still have their thumbprint thing, but they were having issues with it.
Okay.
They didn't want to put it in the back. Mm-hmm. They wanted to have it in the front of the screen, so they refused to put it in the back because usually that's where their fucking Apple logo goes. Which I think would be kind of cool to have it as the Apple logo.
And they might have patent issues with LG.
That's true.
That's where LG has all their buttons now. Well, they had all their buttons back there.
Other phones have the back of it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got rid of it and they went with face identification because they can't use that.
That's right. Okay.
So the face thing, I'm not a fan of the face thing. I don't even want to deal with the face.
Okay.
Look at your phone and it unlocks.
So I guess they're using like an infrared camera on it, so it actually does.
There's something like
so you can't just use a picture. You can't just use a picture.
No, there's a 3D camera with I forgot what lenses they're using, but it basically 3-dimensionally scans your face.
Right, which I think is dumb. I think it's
to unlock, and even in the presentation it failed.
Hey guys,
on Tim Cook.
$1,200. So
yeah, I'm not happy with it at all, and the way it looks I
don't like the way it looks.
So yeah, everyone sees the iPhone, so you already know what it looks like. So they got rid of the thumb thing, so it's pretty much full all screen. But You got this little hump right
There's
here
a cutout
for the ear.
And I think there's also one down here for the microphone, right?
No.
No, it's flat on the bottom, and then it's got the.
And then it has a little hump or
a
little tab.
Yeah.
That's I think people are calling it. So like you have that tab in your way when you're watching something full screen, which I think is something. And I don't know, take it with whatever you want, but like I think Steve Jobs would have had a fit if he saw that.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that would have passed.
Yeah.
So if you want, like, he would want it to be the entire thing.
Yeah, and if it can't be the entire thing, don't do it.
It wouldn't happen. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't like it. I think what they could have done is just just chop it. Whatever, just chop it.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, but
they want like, ooh, it looks so cool. You got one on this side, one on this side. Yeah, don't pass that as cool. It's not cool. So I'm not happy with it. I'm not gonna get it.
No,
I can tell you now. I'd rather get the 8, just because it's what I like.
So on my phone, it's 2 screens. It's got this top screen that has like notifications and stuff. Is that blown out? Can you see it?
Yeah. For the most part.
So up top there's a thing, and I thought that was going to get distracting watching something, because then you have, because the notification bar is under that little second screen. Okay, but it does a very good job of turning off. When you watch videos, it completely darkens the screen so it's black and it looks like the top and bottom of the phone. And it's something that it grew on me over time. So I could see how that could bother you. But yeah, I think it would grow on you. I mean, come on, you've been putting up with Apple for 10 years.
I am an Apple fanboy. I'm not going to hide it, but I am going to criticize the things that I think they did wrong, which I think that's completely dumb and wrong.
Yeah.
To have that tab there. I'd rather have them just have that piece cut out. Yeah. But I understand they want to compete, they want to have the full screens, and I honestly think that's something that wouldn't have passed with Steve Jobs.
I don't like the full screen thing. I don't like the edge-to-edge screens. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I like it. I think it's pretty cool.
I don't, because then it becomes a hassle trying to find a protective case for it. If your screen, like, look how thin.
I don't like the roundness, like with the Samsung phones. I don't like that. But as far as it like square edge to edge, I'm fine with that.
I don't like it because the
Yours
case
is edge to edge, isn't it?
It's almost edge to edge, and I don't like it because my case has to be super thin, so that doesn't protect the way having a nice lip over the edges would protect.
I get that.
And I know I'm in the minority. I get like dual stage cases that have the silicone bottom and then a shell that goes over that, because I don't want my phone screen to get cracked. I don't want it to drop and get scratched up and anything like that. And this is actually, well, not the first time, but it's the second time that I started using like the wallet case, and I really dig it because it's constantly protected. So that's why I can get over the edge-to-edge screen and the super thin protection, because it's got that. But yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this new phone at all. Yeah. Like, I never thought I'd say it, but I won't get this one.
The 8 and the 8 Plus.
And not only that, it's expensive as hell.
$1,200.
Well, the base is $999.
Of the X?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was $11 for the base model.
I think it's gonna be something like $1,300 if you want, like, maybe the 100 whatever gigs, 126 gigs. No, thank you. I'm not gonna drop that much amount of money on a phone when I could buy a fucking computer for that.
Saw that. My buddy Lawrence posted that. It's like $1,200 for the iPhone X, or I can get a gaming PC, build a gaming PC.
Yeah, I mean, technically, yeah, you could pay monthly payments on it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and which is what most people do.
I'm doing it with my phone currently right now.
Doing it with mine.
But that's just still a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's just still way too much money. Anyways, point of being in this little mini rant is that I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I didn't like the look of it at all.
Yeah. I think they could have went at it differently. They should have thought differently.
I think it was the 6 Plus where I thought about switching to Apple, because I liked that design of the phone.
Just still the same one, right? That I have.
Yeah. But yeah, then the 7 and the 7 Plus came, and I was like, yeah, those are really nice too. Maybe. But then, no, I stuck with Android, because my whole point of possibly switching to an iPhone was that, I had an iPod before the iPhone ever came out. So all of my music was in iTunes. So I have 9,000 songs in my iTunes on my computer and on an old-ass iPod that is going to die. So I'm going to have to replace it at some point. But now I've actually gotten to the point where most of the stuff I want to listen to is on Amazon Prime Instant Streaming. And that's kind of what I've been using for like the last year or so. Or when did they as Amazon Music Unlimited? When they did this
is like recently. I think it was earlier.
January. I think January was when I finally said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it."
Maybe,
yeah, and I like it. I haven't had. There's a couple of things that aren't there, and it kind of bums me out. And some albums don't have all the songs, which is weird. But other than that, like, if I'm in a pinch and I really need to listen to a very specific song, I guess I'll pull out my old iPod and plug it in. But
for the most part, though, you haven't found any issues finding the certain artist?
No, I mean, like I said, there's a couple things here and there, but like the stuff that I would mainly listen to on it anyway are all on there. So,
no.
Like there's bands I have on my iPod that only ever came out with one album, and it wasn't like a major release. It was like small label stuff that aren't on there, which is fine. I get that.
Have you run into any issues as far as in iTunes, where your music isn't there anymore?
When they update iTunes, it's not that it's not there; it's that it doesn't show up, and then I have to figure out why isn't it showing up, and then I have to actually go in. I had one time, and I can't remember what version of iTunes it was. One time where it completely wiped my music folder.
I've had that happen to me once.
And I was like, what the fuck? And then I had to do that one trick I was telling you about where you have to open iTunes, then open the preferences tab so it freezes the program, and then plug in your iPod.
Oh,
so it won't recognize it as being plugged in, but your computer will still recognize it as an external drive. You can still fucking do that, by the way. That's something that they haven't, quote, fixed. But it's good because I have an old-ass iPod, and sometimes I've had problems where I've tried to listen to music in iTunes that I've purchased, and it'll say, you don't have the license for that anymore. And I'll be like, bullshit, I don't have the license for that anymore.
Just ran into that shit.
And then I would have to go in and basically log out of my iTunes account and then re-log in, and everything is, or resync it or something like that, and then it's fine.
I wonder if that's what I have to do then.
But yeah, I had issues where it's like, yeah, you don't have the license for this to play this anymore, or hey, this is in a different directory.
They don't have the license.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck you. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I think I bought like 2 or 3 songs from an artist, Michaela Davis. She plays the harp. And like I've like got a wind of wanting to listen to those songs, and I go and like it wouldn't play it. I'm like, what the hell? And then it popped up saying, oh, this is no longer part of iTunes services or whatever. I'm like, I just paid for the song that I'm not gonna get back.
Yeah,
like that really pissed me off.
That's
and weak. I don't know if maybe I have to resync it, like maybe you're talking about.
See, I haven't had that. I've had them say, you're not authorized to play this music on this account. Is what I had told to me, and I was like, what are you talking about? And again, I never went crazy and bought a shitload of stuff on iTunes. Like, I think total over the last, because 2004, right, was when the iPod came out. Yeah. I think I got one in like 2005. Oh no, I got one in 2004, and then I had to get a new one in 2006. Right.
Yeah. I just got it right now. This item is no longer available.
Oof.
So, I don't know if you can see that.
Did you contact iTunes? Have you sent them an email? You should.
No. I was like, that's fucking stupid.
So I think over the last 14 years or whatever that iTunes has been around, or maybe 12 years that I've had it, I've maybe spent $100 on music, and a lot of that was gift cards because people were giving me iTunes gift cards early on, like for birthday presents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which that's fine. I'll buy the best of David Bowie with that $20 iTunes card. I'll buy the best of the Four Seasons with that $20 card. But it wasn't like I have never really gone out of my way to buy a shitload of music because I already had a shitload of music, as you know. And if I'm going to buy some music, I'm not going to buy it off iTunes. I'll buy it digitally from Amazon or from a separate service. I think like smartpunk.com. I would buy a lot of indie punk bands off of there. And like just things like, because they were giving you DRM free lossless audio at a time where iTunes wasn't offering that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It fucking sucks. I'm pissed. And like,
that's fucking
I don't want to have to buy it somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
So much for that. Yeah. Anyways, she's a good artist. But so
I've gotten to a point where if I'm going to buy something from a band that is a, independent band or, on a small label, 9 times out of 10 they have a Bandcamp account. I'll just buy it from there because I know the money goes directly to them. I know Bandcamp takes a fee or whatever.
Smaller than what fucking iTunes.
But I'd rather pay the artist personally. Like, I've even done... So, like, it's funny.
Yeah, I've done the same.
Him is one of my favorite bands, as you know, and people who watch this know. The lead singer of Aloe used to tell this funny story about how he... When they first came to the United States and toured, a fan bought, like, you know, the whole backstage pass thing, like, spent all the money he could basically to go to the tour, bought shirts and, you know, bought the backstage passes and all this shit and spent a whole lot of money on the concert and then was backstage. And when he went back there, he handed Valo a $100 bill. And he goes, "What is this for?" And he goes, "I illegally downloaded your albums because I didn't want to pay the import fees. But here you go." And he was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, I mean, here, all of that's for you. I have all your guys' stuff. I didn't want to pay import fees, so I illegally downloaded it. But here's some money. Also, I just dropped like $800 on backstage passes and T-shirts and concert tickets. And I mean, it's a cool story, but you can't always do that with a band, you know?"
Yeah. So yeah, that's our little rant, I guess, for that. Should we get into the show properly?
Sure. If you didn't know, this is the... Oh, no. That's not our thing.
So, movie news. You have some... You are fired up for another rant.
So, I always talk about it on how... you know, I like Star Wars, but I'm not like uber Star Wars fanboy or anything like that. And I always bring it back to... I didn't see... Star Wars wasn't the first sci-fi thing I saw. You know, the first thing I saw was The Last Starfighter and Flight of the Navigator. And those are, like, my favorite sci-fi movies. And now, Lionsgate and the Henson Company
are
rebooting Flight of the Navigator, and they hired the Lucifer showrunner Henderson. John Henderson? Is it
Joe Henderson.
Joe Henderson. Never seen Lucifer.
Never seen it. I've heard good things.
Don't know, don't care.
I've heard good things.
But they hired him to write the screenplay. Or to write a script for a reboot of Flight of the Navigator. And it really bums me out that they're going to reboot this movie. I love that movie. It is one of my favorite movies as a kid. I've watched it recently, and for me, it still holds up. And I used to watch this movie all the time. Like, and Paul Rubens is freaking amazing as the robot on the spaceship, and all the people in the movie are great in it. And it really bums me out because it has some very specific references. If you haven't seen it, it's about a kid who wanders off into the forest and
falls into a ravine.
Yeah, falls into a ravine in 1978, and when he wakes up, it's 1986. So in that 8 years, if you go back and think about it, a lot of things have changed from 78 to 86. And they kind of go through that, and they tell him, look, you see this? Here's a remote control. You can change the TV channels without having to get up and walk over to it. You know, one of the nurse's assistants tells him about Twisted Sister, this hot new band. And, like, I don't want those references updated. Like, I don't want somebody talking about a modern band and how they're like the hot new thing and how we don't pay for music anymore. We just do it on streaming services.
Have you heard about Justin Bieber?
Have you heard about Fire TV? Like, no, fuck off. I don't want any of that. Like, I don't want the references updated. I don't want the technologies updated. I don't want the whole look of and vibe of the movie updated, because the most charming thing about that movie is the way it looks, the way it's shot, and the vibe and the relationship between, you know, the robot and this kid, who they're just trying to get him home to his family. And it's an awesome movie, and it's a fun story. It's a great story for kids to watch. Like, I think it's one of those, quote, it's good for all ages kind of movies. Like, but I just don't want it rebooted. Like, I don't want to see a remake of this movie. I would love for Hollywood to make a movie maybe similar in tone, maybe a similar story, quote, time travel-y type of story, something, but don't call it Flight of the Navigator. Don't have to invoke that name and that nostalgia and piss people like me off, or make people who are the opposite of me and like, oh, I would love to see what that looks like now, and you don't have to do that. Just make a movie, write a screenplay and make a movie and figure out a different title. You don't have to trade on the name and trade on nostalgia and hope that makes. This was not a huge movie. This is like a small movie that by calling it Flight of the Navigator, you're not going to sell more tickets than if you called it fucking Kid Falls in a Ravine and Wakes Up in the Future. Like, you're not going to make any more money based on the title. And it really bothers me that they're using that title.
Yeah, this is a movie, I mean, I can see how it can be remade, but I also feel like it's one of those, like, trapped in time movies where, like, you can't remake this movie. Kind of like with Back to the Future.
Right.
It's like, this doesn't feel like a movie. I mean, yeah, you could find ways to remake anything, but at the same time, it's like, this is just so iconic for its time.
It is a time capsule for sure.
Feels like it's something you, personally, I feel like you can't capture again. Presently, I feel like you can't capture something like this again.
Yeah.
I feel it also in the same way as, I guess I'm kind of comparing it, not story-wise, but like Hackers. Like, that's a movie you can't remake.
Right.
Because it's just so dated, and it was captured for that time when people didn't know that much about computers.
You can make a movie about some shitty kids doing shitty things on the internet, and you don't have to call it Hackers, and it can still be an enjoyable movie. Again, I'm not saying Hackers is a shitty movie. I'm perfectly okay
I
with
love
Hackers.
The movie. I don't
I
care
know
how
you do.
shitty it is.
But it's a group of shitty kids doing shitty things on the internet at a time where the internet wasn't a big thing, Like, you could do a movie like that now, and you don't have to call it fucking Hackers. You can call it something else. You can write an original story. Joke.
But yeah, kind of like going back to Flight of the Navigator, I feel like that's something that's kind of similar, where I don't think you can capture the same type of time, which personally, this is all our opinion, but I don't think you could capture something like that.
All personal opinion. They're doing the same thing with Jumanji. Did you watch that trailer?
Yeah. I saw the Jumanji trailer. I'm
mildly interested.
Again, kind of on the fence.
It doesn't need to be called Jumanji. Like, if it's literally just in the trailer, they show it's literally just a fucking throwaway at the beginning where they see the board game and he throws it aside. So the board game manifests itself into something else, into a video game.
Yeah.
And if that's literally the only reference to the goddamn original movie, it doesn't need to be called Jumanji.
Or just make it as a Jumanji video game from the 70s.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be a board game or whatever, or the 80s or 90s even. Fuck it.
I don't know, man. But I'm mildly interested in that. But I just don't think things need to be remade.
I'm interested in Jumanji. This movie can. I don't know. I don't like what they're doing it either.
I mean, again, this is very preliminary. But I was reading an article on IMDb that's different than the one we're using. But they talk about how, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, they hired somebody else to write a screenplay that they've basically trashed. But like, they've been actually trying to do this for a while. Like, no, this is not a movie that needs some hard, deep thinking to remake. Number one, if you're gonna.
Brad Copeland who did part of Arrested Development.
Arrested Development, right.
Was hired by Disney to write the first draft of the remake in 2009.
2009! Almost 10 years
ago. In 2012, Disney hired Colin Trevorrow and Derek Connolly to write the script that's projected as a potential directing vehicle for this.
Yeah, okay.
So it's been being pushed around.
I don't get it, man. I don't understand how, like, this is, like, the thing. Like, I watched the Jumanji trailer with my buddy Robert, and I was like, it seems like somebody went into the office, into the studio, and was like, I have an idea for a movie. It's about these people who get sucked into a video game, and people are like, well, what if we call it Jumanji? Like, I hate that shit, because that's all these remakes feel like. Like, going back to 21 Jump Street. That movie didn't need to be called that. And I guarantee it was things like, oh, what if we do this thing and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I mean, Channing Tatum's hot right now. And so
it would have been nice. It would have been cool if they didn't call it 21 Jump Street. Yeah. And then you actually find out at the end with Johnny Depp that it was 21 Jump Street.
Right.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah. And I get all these remakes. I bet it seems like people going into studio with semi-original takes on these ideas, and then gonna get shot down. Like, well, what if we call it Flight of the Navigator?
Now, cool. This is like you're kind of straying off from that Flight of the Navigator, but okay, 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
And you heard about? I'm sure you heard about like the Sony hack, how they kind of wanted to cross over 21 Jump Street and Men in Black. Now that is something that's kind of funny and kind of cool. In my opinion, I think that might be pretty awesome.
No, okay, I say no because I genuinely like the Men in Black franchise. I genuinely love the Men in Black franchise. Yeah. That movie those movies, all of them, they have more heart than anybody ever gives them fucking credit for. And I don't know. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Cool, in my opinion.
Fuck all that. Anyway, Flight of the Navigator, not interested. No thank you. Please don't remake it. Please don't. Just let this die on the vine.
All right. We got some trailers for you guys.
Yeah.
What's the first trailer we should watch?
Tomb Raider, I believe, is the first one.
So we're gonna watch the trailer for Tomb Raider.
Another reboot. It's a reboot movie of a rebooted video game.
That's true.
Okay, I'm good. Let's go.
What's your name?
Laura.
Surname?
Croft. Laura, your father's gone. You can pick up where he left off. I see so much of him in you.
I really liked it the first time I watched this, as it started.
Okay.
I really liked the way it looked as it started the first time I watched it.
If you're listening to this, then I must be dead. I found something. A tomb called the Mother of Death.
Here's where it loses me.
If Trinity succeeds, our world is in danger. Promise me you will stop them.
I promise. I think I know where my dad went.
That's right in the middle of the Devil's Sea.
It will be an adventure.
Death is not an adventure.
You shouldn't have come here. But I'm glad that you did.
What do you know about my father?
Now I see the likeness. The recklessness. Close the tomb once and for all. The fate of humanity is now in your hands.
Can't be too careful these days. The world has gone bloody mad.
I'll take two.
Big Frost.
Hey guys, let's have some quippy one-liners to distract from all the action. Okay.
This trailer is filled with so many cliches.
Boom.
If you're watching this,
boom.
I'm dead.
Boom. Okay, so again, when it starts, like I'm like, okay, because I never finished the reboot video game from 2014. I think is when it came out. But I really liked what I played of it. It's a good game. And so I liked the vibe, and this has that vibe.
This definitely has that video game vibe.
It's obviously what they're going for. But like with all the cliches, it feels like a spoof trailer. Number one, like it feels like a fake trailer.
It feels like a fan film.
Okay, all right. Maybe I'm being too harsh.
I think you're being a little too harsh. I think it feels more of a fan film.
You lose me
trailer.
right away. If you don't do this, the world is ending. It's the same thing that Ryan and I always fucking complain about with movies. It's like the world doesn't always need to be ending.
Ending, yeah.
Stop it. It doesn't have to always be an apocalyptic event.
Could be like this village could come to an end, or something like that.
Or it could be this girl trying to discover her own legacy while living up to her father's. That's all it has to be.
Yeah.
That's all it has to be. So, it looks good. It seems like a over-the-top action movie, which the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider ones were also.
Yeah.
And they all also had the one-liner quips, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I have a feeling that it's going to do really well in theaters because it's a movie based on a video game, but it's the take on the game where it seems like it's more accessible and mainstream. Like it doesn't seem like you have to play the game to like this movie. Where
yeah, it definitely feels that way.
Sometimes a lot of movies that are based on other properties, you have to be into that property to be into that thing. But I don't know. Like I was very intrigued. I was like, oh yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, the whole.
Yes, Laura, save the world. We need you to save the world. I don't like it.
Yeah, always the world.
I'll probably end up seeing it.
I still kind of want to
because it looks interesting. It looks fun, but
looks like a fun popcorn movie.
It just doesn't always have to be.
I like the end. I do like the end title card that shows that, and then like the arrow going through. I thought that was pretty awesome.
It's awesome. It's cool. It looks just like the logo for the rebooted version of the game.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is cool looking. It's cool looking. Yeah. I actually own that for PS4. Like they re-released it on PS4, like the definitive edition, and I got it on PlayStation Plus for like $5 at one point. So I might actually go back and play through that, but probably not anytime soon, which we'll get to later.
Well, because we got another trailer for you.
Yeah, so this is not the same trailer, guys.
And apparently it might be a little bit feels that way, but let's take a look at Annihilation.
Starring Natalie Portman?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Jump into movie mode.
Okay, yeah. Get your simulations right. Was Ex Machina good? I never actually saw that.
I heard Ex Machina was really good. I still haven't seen it. Reminds me of Lost in Space.
Yeah, a little bit.
Can you describe its form?
No.
Was it carbon-based?
I don't know.
Did it communicate with you?
It reacted to me.
So it's awesome. But
You really have no idea what it was.
in case you missed it before.
Did your husband contact you at any point while he was away?
No. It was his decision to go in. Why did my husband volunteer for a suicide mission?
This is the gritty Pokemon reboot?
You have to tell me where he was, what he was doing. I need to know what's inside. I could save him.
So she's gonna go raid a tomb.
Get some answers.
Get some answers.
That actually looks really good.
Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah. So the reason we made the joke is because if you look at the thumbnails for both of those trailers, they look very similar. And it's funny because the picture that's in the thumbnail for that trailer, that is nowhere in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks pretty interesting. I like things like that.
It looks like end of the world type of. It almost kind of reminded me of what is that? Arrival almost.
Okay.
At least the look of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks really interesting. Like the whole thing where they walk through that gel thing. Like that just reminded me of Lost in Space when they walk. I don't know if you remember where they walk through that same kind of deal.
Yeah.
Oh, this was a lot done way better.
Yeah.
Graphically.
Kind of like reminds me of things like the Philadelphia Experiment, like that kind of vibe to it. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
I've seen that one.
That's pretty good. But it kind of reminds, like the vibe. It's not the same kind of movie or the same movie or anything. Like just the vibe of it though reminded me of like the Philadelphia Experiment.
Yeah,
which is a movie I used to watch a lot when growing up too.
Yeah, and this is done by the same people, like as it showed
I don't know if you saw.
Twice.
Ex
Machina, which I want to say they won an Academy Award.
Did they? For
I feel like for like makeup or effects, I want to say.
All right, yeah.
Or something like one of those. I could be wrong. Bryce's in here to fact check.
But it looks cool. That looks cool.
But it looks really good. And
I love trailers like that don't tell you a lot. But
yeah,
they show you a lot, but they don't tell you a lot.
Know, yeah, like I kind of don't know what's going on, but at the same time, they give you enough just to get you hooked. I'm wanting to know.
But yeah,
so
that looks interesting. I like Natalie
Portman.
Portman.
Looks badass in this.
Looks cool.
So Red Dead Redemption came out with their trailer.
Yes. Spring 2018 release window. No date. No actual date.
Yeah. I know you, like we talked about in the car, you and Ben were big.
And Dan, too, actually.
Dan was too?
That's one of Dan's favorite video not the online portion of it, because the online was janky as all hell then. Yeah. But you could see what they were going for. And
a lot of people love this game.
It is...
This is amazing.
If one were to make a list of the best games of
all time
of the PS3, Xbox 360, Wii generation, one might put this in their top 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an awesome game. The story is great. Red Dead Redemption is by far the best video game that Rockstar Games has ever made. Better than Grand Theft Auto 3.
Old words.
Better than 4. Better than San Andreas. Better than Vice City. I don't care what anybody says. It's better than Bully. Come fight me.
Never played Bully.
Red Dead Redemption is the best game that Rockstar has ever made. Ever. So when they talked about doing another Red Dead game, I got excited because I figured they would do it like they do the Grand Theft Auto games. Change the scenery, change the characters, change the thing. Like,
right.
Cool. And I got really excited because I was like, man, it would be so dope to do a Red Dead Redemption game during the Industrial Revolution. Like the last days of the horse riding cowboy going into, quote, the modern age, right? And I thought, like, that'd be a cool twist. But this seems like a fucking road adventure so far. Like going from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Like a trail.
It's a prequel to the last game that came out, where you play as a member of Dutch's gang. And for people who didn't play Red Dead Redemption 1, the whole premise is that you are a guy who was in this gang trying to get your freedom and get the government off your back by helping them take down this gang that you were once a part of. It doesn't seem like the character you played in the other game is in this game as of right now. I'm sure he is like you see him in the background kind of thing, especially if you're going to be a part of that gang. But my whole beef with this is I don't want to play as the bad guys. I really don't want to play as the bad guys. No, fuck that.
Not from a different perspective.
Don't want to play as the bad guys. Don't want to do fucking like... With the Grand Theft Auto games, they always frame it, and maybe this is just me and it's semantics, and you're kind of always playing as the bad guy in the Grand Theft Auto franchise. But at least they kind of wrap it with, I'm just trying to fucking get out. I'm trying to get away from this shit. I want, like in Red Dead Redemption, the guy you were playing was a guy who was a bad guy. But now he's not a bad guy. But he's getting pulled back into this bullshit because he needs to make a life for his family and needs to get it away from him. So he's doing something for the U.S. Marshals that he doesn't want to be doing, but he's doing it to get them off his back so he can have a regular, normal life for him and his family. And the coolest thing about that game is the last hour and a half of that game, when you play as him, you're doing mundane things like fucking herding cattle. And like it's the shit he wants to be doing with his life.
Right.
The game is over. You're doing regular everyday things and trying to teach your son how to do these things so he can take over the ranch for you and things like that. It's fucking great. It's a great game. I would suggest playing it, man. It's so awesome. But yeah, like that's something that Rockstar does really well also. They take the most mundane things and make them fun. But you're by all rights, you're the good guy trying to make good. This is just like, you're in a band of fucking thieves and you're gonna rob trains and rob people. It's like, I don't want to play that. That's not a game I want to play. Anytime there's a game out that has moral choice where you can do the good thing or the bad thing, 7 out of 10 times, I always go with the good thing because there's never shades of gray. There's never like, oh, this is kind of a bad thing to do, but it's going to help out more people than it's going to hurt. But usually when I pick the bad thing, it's because there is that shade of gray. Like the Infamous franchise, they have a morality system. It's like good or bad.
Right.
But sometimes it's like, you know, sacrifice this area and it takes this contamination out and you can save all these other people, or you save nobody. So there's always shades of gray kind of stuff. But I just don't ever want to be the straight out bad guy because I don't, that's not fun for me to be that guy.
I get that. Like, most people, I feel like would want to do the good stuff rather than be the bad. But I mean, you've read more than I have, but as far as the trailer goes, like maybe there's more to the gameplay than what we're getting.
They haven't really shown anything else or said anything else. They do what Rockstar does. They're gonna give you bits and pieces. Yeah.
Like maybe there is. I mean, with the game called Red Dead Redemption, maybe it's just another version with a different perspective. As far as maybe like this guy who you're playing is probably like the hard as nails person. You know, finally realize he wants to leave, or maybe start his own gang, or I don't know. Yeah. There could be a bunch of options to it, but at the same time, like if how much people love the first one, like I don't see them disappointing anyone with the second one.
And this is also the first time that they've actually ever had like a direct sequel kind of thing. Even though it's not a sequel, it takes place before the last game, but it's called Part 2, which is fucking. That's number one, but it's taking a major aspect of the last story and telling you that story, which is.
So you still don't know the backstories of all these people,
right? Which is kind of what you're getting of that gang, and I'm sure it's going to be a fun game and a good game, and because Rockstar games are good, it's going to be a great game. I'm sure they'll have some kind of connection to the first, but I don't know.
Yeah,
like you go through a 30-hour experience hearing how fucking terrible Dutch's gang is and how bad they are, and you're taking them out because they're pieces of shit, and then now guess what? You get to be that piece of shit. Like, no thanks, man. And again, this is just based on the trailer they released. There'll probably be more information, and I could be totally wrong and off base. But based on that trailer, it did absolutely nothing for me. Absolutely nothing. Other than, oh, wow, that looks pretty. But it did nothing for me to make me want the game.
That's interesting.
It just made me want to turn on my PS3. And, well, first I have to clean it out. Because that... If you think your PlayStation 4 was dusty, dude, my PlayStation 3 hasn't been turned on in like a year and a half, and it's just collecting dust. But it made me want to turn on my PS3 and play Red Dead Redemption again, which is a game I revisit every 12 to 18 months because I love it that much. Again, if someone were to say, what are the best games of that generation, that would be on the list.
Yeah. There's someone I follow on social media, Casey McKinnon, I believe that's her last name. She platinumed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And
that's a hard platinum.
Yeah, and she has a presence on social media, of course. So they invited her over. Rockstar invited her over to do a little tour of it, and she took a few pictures. I just wanted to mention it because
that's pretty cool.
Kind of cool that game company like that would do something. Like that, I feel like there was more than I think there was others too that actually got that kind of a tour after they platinum. Because I've heard Red Dead Redemption I think is one of their games that's the hardest, isn't it?
It's pretty difficult, yeah.
To platinum. So I just saw this was whenever that game came out, and I saw other people kind of got a little mini tour of what they did, how they made the game and things like that. Yeah. Which I thought was kind of cool. I just thought I'd bring it up since we're talking about the game.
Red Dead Redemption has one of the best pieces of DLC ever to come out. It's a standalone story, so you can buy it separately from the game. You don't need the game to get this little side story. And it's called Undead Nightmare. And it's basically a zombie movie that takes place in 1903 or whatever.
I think I remember that.
It's so good. It's so good.
I remember that. I do remember that.
They changed the look of it, the filter, so they give the sky is kind of reddish, and in the main game you can capture and break horses, and they become your horses. In this game, you can capture and break the 4 horses of the apocalypse. Which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
It's so dope, dude. It's one of the coolest things ever to come out, and Yeah, it's a standalone DLC thing that you can buy. But yeah, I own a copy of that game digitally because I owned it physically, and then it got it real cheap on a PlayStation Plus sale or something like that, and it was like the complete edition with Undead Nightmares. I was like, sweet, I'll just get this, and I played, and yeah, so I might actually go through that again because man, I love that game so much. It's such a good game.
Yeah, I hear that.
And like I said, this one did nothing for me.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. But,
yeah,
I mean, we'll see what happens when they've released more info when the time comes. What are we gonna hop on first?
I guess we could do topic 4.5. Did you see the way I labeled it?
Did you? Oh yeah, 4.5. Okay, yeah.
So I rolled credits on Everybody's Golf single player.
That's right. You told me that.
But there's still a lot more to do. A lot more to do.
You said you're gonna platinum that one.
I'm going for the platinum. Yeah, I'm definitely going for the platinum. There's some hard shit to do, but I'm gonna go for the platinum. But yeah, man. Like, so I beat all of the. Got to tier 7 in the golf courses. And yeah, it gets progressively gets harder. Like there's a point where the first set of courses is like, okay, that's a good primer. The second set of courses is like, okay, it's a little bit harder. But then after the second set, there's a fucking difficulty cliff it goes off of because it gets hard for the rest of the way through. Like 3 through 6 are super difficult. But yeah, it's a freaking amazing game. I unlocked the custom clubs, so now you can yeah. So you know they have like, oh, here's your big air clubs, here's your clubs for control, here's the ones for backspin.
Oh yeah.
So like from what I gather is you can use gems that you collect in the open course area,
right,
in the online area, to individualize the clubs. So like if you rely on a lot of power to drive the ball. Your 1 wood you can make is a big air club. This is going to drive the ball as far as I can. If your approach wedge you use as for backspin and control, you can throw a gem on it and make it. This is going to be my backspin club. This is going to be my specialty club for backspin. So it's pretty cool that you can do that. The only downside to that is that wear and tear happens to the clubs, and they can eventually break.
Oh.
But you can recycle them, and it gives you points to remake them essentially with a new set of clubs. Which is kind of cool. I haven't really started messing with that yet. I've kind of been obsessed with fishing, which is stupid. It has nothing to do with golf.
Instead of golfing in this game, I'm going to fish.
You don't get anything that helps you with the golf game when you fish.
It's just fun.
It's just fun. It's something stupid and fun.
That's awesome that a game could do that.
Yeah, and I drive the golf. I go into the open course area and just drive my golf cart around. I don't do anything on the hole. I don't play holes. I just drive around. Try and collect coins and gems and stuff like that. It's pretty fun. But I really, really like that game. It's exactly what I wanted from a Hot Shots golf game. I really, really enjoyed the one on the Vita. I really enjoyed the PSP games. I didn't play too much of the PS3 one because I ended up buying it for $5 on a PlayStation Plus sale. But they had already shut the online servers down, so the online tournaments were down. But I played through a bunch of that too, and like I love that game. I've been playing this game since PS1. I love this franchise. And this is definitely a worthy addition to that franchise. It's so much fun.
Yeah, man. From what I've played, it definitely ranks up there. And everything you're telling me now, as far as organizing your clubs, and getting little peaks and bonuses that they break, like that's just awesome that they could add all these new different things to a property that's pretty much stayed the same, but not stayed the same.
Right.
It just evolved.
Right. And in this game, it plays the best that any of them have ever played. It's everything is very smooth and intuitive. I love it. But the whole idea of the custom clubs and them breaking and wear and tear and stuff like that kind of got me interested in the game that's coming out called Golf Story. That's on the Switch that you need to get.
I haven't heard of that.
It's an RPG, but it's a golf game. But it's like an RPG. Like you have to put points into things and build up your golfer and build up this.
That sounds like something I'd probably get.
So it's on the Switch. It just came out on Friday, so you should probably buy that and let me play it.
Oh, it just came out.
Yeah, it just came out on the Switch. But yeah, that's a game I want to play.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
But yeah, man, Everybody's Golf is amazing, and I gotta say, if I would have bought this game strictly based on Josh saying, "Hey, this looks like a fun game, we should get it so we can play together," because he said that to me, and I go, "Bro, I've been playing this game since PS1. I'm gonna get it anyway, whether it had online or not." He goes, "Oh, cool. Well, I'm gonna get it then so we can play." Do you know how many times I've played Everybody's Golf with Josh?
0.
I've played Everybody's Golf with Josh once. So if I would have bought this game with these, because this happens a lot, where not to me, it's never happened to me or us really, where a friend will say, hey, you should get this game because it's got this cool online component and we'll play together online all the time. And then you get the game and the friend never plays with you. I'd be really pissed if I only bought this game with the intent of playing online with Josh.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be super pissed. Luckily, I love the Hot Shots Golf franchise, and this, like I said, Everybody's Golf is a great addition to that franchise. I've played online with you a couple of times. I've played online with Bryce a couple of times.
Oh, yeah, I played with Bryce.
Yeah. And I played online with Josh once. But, like, yeah. And then he's like, oh, you should get Fortnite Battle Royale. It's free and we can play together. It's like, I don't fucking play competitive first-person shooters except for... Oh, this is third-person, by the way. Except for Overwatch.
Overwatch is third-person?
Yeah, first-person. Oh. First-person. But I don't play competitive shooters really except for Overwatch. And I told him, Overwatch is on sale for $20. Get it. We can play together. I'll play the shit out of that game. Oh, I don't like this or that. I'm like, well, fuck off. And now he doesn't want to play Fortnite because it's... the mode that he wanted to play it's pay to play right now, but it's going to be eventually free to play because there's still an early access on it.
Oh, okay.
But the mode that they put out for free on PlayStation 4, they claim is done and ready to go. But so he's like, no, I don't want to play that. Fuck that. I don't like game companies with their microtransactions and bullshit. I'm like, whatever, dude. Then don't play games with me.
Don't do it.
But yeah, I downloaded Fortnite and gave that a shot. I don't like it. I know everybody's all about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and how fucking cool and fun it is. And that's basically what...
I like watching people play. I don't feel like that's a game I would play.
And Fortnite Battle Royale is essentially the same exact thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I just... No.
Yeah, Battle Royale.
No, thank you. I'll pass. I'll fucking pass hard on that.
Yeah, I almost downloaded PUBG, but I decided... Like, you know what? Like, I don't... Well, first of all, I don't have time to do shit. And second of all, like, I love watching people play it rather than myself playing it, which is so weird. Like, I love playing games, but I've never been at a point where I'm like, you know what? I think I'd rather watch someone than play it myself.
Right.
So it's kind of weird because, like, there's, like, 3 streamers I watch who play it.
Yeah, Giant Bomb streams it once a week.
They've done it too, and it's fun. It's fun to watch. In my opinion, it's fun to watch. I don't know if I'll play.
Janky as fuck. It's not finished. It started as a fucking
beta,
mod to another game.
Or something like that. Like a beta that's been around for so long.
It's a pay-to-play early access game. Yeah. Like, fuck off, man. Finish your game and then put it out. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, if I had bought these games strictly to play with Josh, I'd be very upset right now.
Yeah.
But another game.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, you can count on me with Everybody's Golf.
Yeah.
Until now.
I think I could still count on for Everybody's Golf. But yeah, all right. So enough of that. Everybody's Golf is awesome. If you guys haven't gotten a chance to play it or picked it up, you should. It's only $40, which is insane. That is a quote budget title, I guess you would call it. But it is amazing. So go get it. Transition into the next thing we want to talk about. I did something that I didn't think I was going to be doing till way later this year.
I didn't think so either. But you surprised the hell out of me.
You got it, and then Dan voxed me and said, hey man, my coworker was playing this game and she let me check it out like by handing me the controller virtually on the PS4.
Which is awesome.
And so I went out and bought it. And I was like, I've been telling you for 2.5 years, get Destiny so Rick and I and you and Bryce can play.
Got our own clan going.
But no, you don't listen to me. Fucking coworker gets Destiny 2 and lets you play it, and you're like, ooh, this is good. I know it's good. I've been telling you it's good. So Dan got it. I know you had it.
I pre-ordered that shit.
And I was sitting at the laundromat doing some, like, we had to wash some, like, blankets and shit. And I don't like doing that at home. Do it at the laundromat. It's quicker and faster.
It is quicker and faster.
So we're doing that, and I'm sitting there looking at my phone. I'm like, Rick has it. Dan has it. I think Bryce is probably going to get it. I don't want to be way behind come Christmas time when I get this game and they're already finishing the single player in level 20 and I got to start at level 1. I need to get it now. So I bought it on Friday and set it to download from the app on my phone. And then I go Friday night, I was like, Rick, guess what I did?
Yeah.
And I sent you a screenshot of my purchase receipt.
I honestly thought when you told me that, I'm like, oh no. Like, he bought another skateboard deck. That's what I honestly thought. Because I know you've been on the fence about that.
So it's funny that you mentioned that. Because my complete intent on Friday was to buy the Revive Neon Lifeline.
Right, because they just came out with those, and that's why I thought...
And the Carlos Lastra Pro model deck, because I haven't had a chance to get one of those yet, and I want to support him because I'm a huge fan of his skateboarding. So I was going to buy those. And I was like, that was, okay, come October, I'm buying those decks, I'm getting them in my size. And to be honest, I never, ever, ever want to skate another skateboard deck in my life except for that Revive Neon Lifeline.
That's
it is
a nice
so
deck.
fucking nice. every time they post it, I comment, I was like, please keep making this deck. I never want to skate another deck ever except that one because it's so cool looking. And I was sitting there and I was like, should I pull the trigger and get these Revive boards? They still have 825 in stock. I should probably get them. And then I was like, but Dan and Rick have fucking Destiny. And
I knew it was going to be one or the other for you.
Yeah.
The game or a deck.
So I'll just get the decks later on this year at Christmas time or whatever. But yeah, I ended up pulling the trigger on Destiny 2 because I'm
glad you did. I'm so glad you
didn't play the first one as much as I should have. And I really, really regret that.
I feel like you did.
I never finished the storyline. So like when I started a new game, I guess because I hadn't finished the single player story stuff, like it didn't give me the option to import my character. So I basically started a character from scratch, which is fine with me. I went with a hunter, pretty purple lady hunter.
Oh, so your character didn't show up?
No.
Oh.
And I think it's because I didn't finish the storyline, the main storyline.
Yeah, because when I started the game, like
you did
my character was already there.
You did with your warlock. You didn't
I passed
with
with
your
warlock,
but not with your hunter, right?
No.
Right. So
I was wondering where my hunter was at.
Sorry, I'm coughing today, guys. I'm trying to get over this freaking cold.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because like, it didn't ask me anything. It just my warlock just showed up.
How the hell did Dan not find out what you were rolling before he created a warlock? Like, come on, man.
That's a dick move.
So
Dan,
now we got to roll with 2 warlocks and a hunter.
Yeah, I thought about creating a
Titan. Yeah,
I'm like, I don't want to play.
The Titan looked really cool.
It looks
the armor
cool,
looks really cool. But
I
always play that type of class. So I wanted to be different. So I went with the hunter.
Warlock's my thing. I'm not surprised that Dan got a fucking warlock.
Yeah.
But
so it's funny because I spent like a half an hour. Oh, the only thing that really bummed me out about it was I noticed something in the character creation section. There was nothing new. It was the same fucking options as the first game.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know because I got mine.
There was nothing new. It's the same shit. There was nothing new at all. And so when I got done, I was like, my pretty purple lady hunter kind of looks like my pretty purple lady hunter from the first game. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Because I remember somebody complaining about them not adding anything. But I spent like a half an hour and basically created the same character I was playing last time, which is hilarious. I gave her different hair. She's got the like spiky back hair. Yeah. But yeah, it's weird. Like that's also something that I do in games like RPGs and stuff like that. I always play a female character, and yeah, and it's not like if I'm gonna be looking at an ass for 40 hours, I want it to be a girl. No, that's not why. I do it because I like to play strong female characters in video games. It's something weird that I do. If I have the option. I generally unless
kind of do the same. I don't know. It just depends.
There's 2 ways I do it. If I can customize the character and make it look as much like me as possible, I do that.
Yeah.
And if I can't, then I play a female character because just they're more fun to play.
Yeah. I almost thought about, like I said, creating a Titan. It would have been female if I created the Titan. But I don't want it.
I don't want it.
I want my warlock.
I might. So I'll finish the single player stuff, and I'll probably start a second character. So the thing I really want to do this time is I want to finish the main progression. So I want to get to level 20 with all 3 classes.
I want to do that too. Yeah. So then I could just switch between characters if someone else wants.
I'm almost halfway to the first one. I'm a level 8. Power level 89. I played for about 3 hours with you the other night, huh?
We played for a long time.
And didn't realize how long we were playing.
Yeah. No, I played longer than you because I was playing with Dan.
Yeah.
I started, I think, at 9.
Oh, shit. And you played till like almost 3 o'clock with me.
Yeah.
It was like 2:30 when we stopped playing.
What was that? 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about 6.
Yeah.
Fuck, I played 6 hours of that game.
Almost. I played about 4. because I started at about 11-ish.
Fuck.
But yeah, I really, really enjoy it so far. It feels like Destiny. It feels like a Bungie game. And the thing I really, really like about it is that now that they've kind of started from the ground up with a story,
yeah,
I felt like, and I always talk about how Halo, that's my sci-fi franchise of choice. I love it. I love the Halo games and their stories. Like, it felt like I was playing a Halo game again for the first time.
Dan mentioned the same thing.
In a long, long time.
Like, he liked the controls. He liked the way the game felt like a Halo game. He said the same thing.
And the other thing I want to say about it that I really appreciate is I like how different the environments look.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could have very easily been like, yeah, here's all the same shit, guys. But
it's like reskinned it or something.
Yeah,
like
and they basically did that. They basically reskinned it, but like, it was so
gorgeous,
desolate in the other places. Like, it was just like, you're gonna run for a while on this flat, desolate looking place till you get to these little underground corridor hangars that you're gonna have to fight through. And this one, like, it's like cities. It looks like broken cities, and it seems really. And then the Metal Gear Solid 2 section that we played, I played that last night, and it looks like Big Shell from Metal Gear Solid 2.
Totally looks like Big Shell,
and it's super cool, man. It's super cool. I really, really enjoy it, and I can't wait to finish up here so I can go home and eat some dinner and play some more Destiny.
As we're talking about this, I'm thinking, all right, am I going to edit tonight, or am I just going to take my laptop to work and edit after work?
Yeah. I'm really, really digging it a lot. It looks nice because the first one looked nice. It plays really well because the first one. Guess what? Bungie makes great shooters. And yeah, another thing I really, really love about it is, like, you don't always have to go back to, quote, the tower. You don't have to always go back to the farm.
You can just jump wherever you want.
Right. So every planet is treated like a hub world now.
Mm.
And that's how you get your missions. So they've even changed it to where it's even more structured, kind of like a single player game, to where instead of having to go back to the tower and cash in your shit, you can do that off base and do it on this planet. And then there's a hub. And the coolest thing about it is that if you don't want to do missions and you just want to grind, just hordes and hordes of enemies keep getting dropped off by dropships, and you can just kind of
fight them out.
Fight around the hub world without having to engage any missions and still level up and collect loot and collect glimmer and all this cool shit.
It took me a while to figure that out. I thought, like, I was in a level and I kept shooting.
Yeah.
Like,
where are they going to stop?
What's going on?
Yeah.
To be honest, like, this game, the beginning of it and going through it, like, I actually felt a little confused with it because, I guess maybe it's just because I got used to the other way of playing it. And I was kind of, thinking that I still had that same headspace as far as the first game. And then once I kind of slowly realized, oh, I see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Which is something they explained at E3, but I forgot. It's really cool. I like how everything's laid out. I like the handling of everything.
Yeah, I really liked. Okay, so I've told you about this stuff before. I don't know if I've ever really mentioned it on here, but Brad Shoemaker from Giant Bomb is really keen on coming up with terms for video game tropes that kind of tell you what's happening, right? So everybody they hate using the term Metroidvania, which is like you start super overpowered and then they take all your powers away and you have to over time collect all your powers back. And because like Metroid and Castlevania do that. Also, the other part of that goes with being a Metroidvania game is like you can't get to certain parts of the map until you go farther and collect a thing, and then you got to come back and do it. But the part I'm specifically talking about is the ability thing. And they came up with, I think somebody wrote it in, came up with a great term for that. It's called the abilities.
The abilities?
Yeah, Tease. So instead of abilities. And you start off with all your shit, and then in Destiny, they take your light away.
Yeah, they do.
And then you have to go through a level where if you die, you die. You have to start the level over. And it's really cool.
Yeah.
And it makes you play more carefully because you don't have your light, and your ghost can't resurrect you, and it's...
I loved it.
And that's where I felt like I was playing a Halo game. Like, there's a very specific, I think it's the second level in Halo 2 where you have to you can stealth in and take some people out, and then you got to go in around. It's super the second world of the first Halo game. Yeah, the second level. And that to me was like, I love doing that over and over and over again because that's where they always talked about their AI. Bungie always talked about their AI and how it's always different. It's always different. And like you can come in guns blazing, or you can come in stealthily, or you can kind of try and sneak up on people and kind of do a mix of stealth and guns blazing. And that's how this felt to me. It's like it reminded me of that level in Halo, the original Halo game from 15 years ago, where it's like, yeah, this feels like Halo again. This is not that Bungie is. I think they should be completely defined by Halo, but like those are some of my favorite gaming moments throughout my life of video games. Is game moments in the Halo franchise, and anytime a game can make me feel that, I get really happy, and it's a great feeling. And it happens a lot outside of Bungie, like other companies I've felt that about, and then having Bungie be able to come back and take all the criticisms they got from Destiny 1 and turn Destiny 1 completely around and make it an enjoyable experience, and then take all that stuff they learned and basically built Destiny 2 from the ground up to feel more like that it's fucking amazing. I love it. It's awesome. Just in the time I've played so far, I can't wait to do like the Nightfalls with you, which are basically kind of like the strikes.
Are those the strikes? Yeah.
And I just
got the Crucible.
Yeah.
Access.
I actually want to do a raid this time around because I never did any raids in the original Destiny either. I don't think you did either.
Didn't we do raids?
No, we did strikes.
I know I did raids.
Did you do a raid?
Pretty sure I did a raid.
Because I know we did strikes.
We did strikes.
I didn't do any. I didn't do any raids.
I'm pretty sure I did about 2 or 3.
Okay, but yeah, I really want to do some of that stuff this time around. I really want, like I said, I want to take all my characters and max them out in the story mode, and then decide which one I enjoy playing more. But yeah, man, it's an awesome game, and even just a little bit I've played, I didn't think anything was going to come close to knocking what my game of the year is so far down a peg. But if this game continues to play the way it's playing and tell a story the way it's telling a story, I don't know if it can knock that game off the top of the list, but it's going to be a hell of a conversation I have to have with myself at the end of the year.
Cool. So, is that our show?
I think so. Oh, real quick. This won't go out until Tuesday. If you're watching live, Infamous Second Son is free on PlayStation Plus. Put it in your library. You don't have to download it now. Rick, I'm looking at you. Oh. Put it in your library so you have access to that game because it's an amazing fucking game.
So even if you put it in your library,
you
don't have to download it?
No. Saying add to library on the app or on there is essentially the same as buying it. When they're free plus games. You don't have to download them for that to reflect on your account. But you have to make sure you add it to your library.
I thought you had to download them.
No.
That's why I downloaded, what was that game? Is it Firewatch? No. Firewatch. It was some other...
Something like... Oh, Gone Home.
No, it was like a horror game. I forgot which one it was. I don't remember.
Until Dawn.
Yes.
Yeah. So the reason I mentioned that, Infamous Second Son, awesome game. Put it in your library. If you're watching this live, I don't know who is. Rick, you need to do it tonight or today before I leave. I'm going to make you do it. Because on Tuesday, the new round of PlayStation Plus games is coming out. And there's a game on there that I really think you need to revisit and give it another shot. And that's Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. I'm not telling you to finish it because I never finished it. There's a point I will tell you. There's a point for you to get up to where I'll say, okay, Rick, you don't have to play anymore. But you have to get to a very specific point. Because there's a very specific point where it feels like that's where development went off the fucking rails.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like the first 6 hours of that game are fucking amazing. Remember how I always talked about Dead Island and how the first section of Dead Island where you're on the resort?
Yeah.
If that would have just came out by itself, that would have been one of my favorite games of the year. But because they put you in the city and then they put you in like the woods, like it kind of killed the whole vibe of that game. That first 6 hours of Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain is fucking amazing. And I really need you to play up until a certain point. And I know you gave up on it super quick.
I gave up when I ran into Silence or something.
Quiet?
Quiet.
Yeah. Silence. When you run into her so organically in the game, it's so good.
I got caught.
You couldn't do it?
I couldn't pass her. Or shoot her or something. It's hard.
That one's frustrating, but so
that's why
worth
I was
it.
like, fuck this, I'm done.
It's like Dan Trachtenberg used to say about games, that's the good suck. Like...
The good suck.
Yeah, like, oh god, it's so fucking frustrating, but when you get it, it's like,
So before you celebrate, fuck yeah!
Yeah, so Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain is going to be free on Tuesday if you have PlayStation Plus, and...
I'll have to download that.
I know there's a lot of shit going on around that game with Hideo Kojima and Konami, and I'm a huge Hideo Kojima fan, and I'm very excited for Death Stranding, but I will say that the early parts of that game, of Metal Gear Solid 5, are some of the best video game parts ever. It's so good. So that's it, I guess, public service announcement.
All right. So that'll do it for this week's episode. Be sure to find us on iTunes. We're on iTunes, SSWL Network. You'll find us there. Be sure to hit us up on YouTube, youtube.com/users/someshitwelike, where we put up the shows Tuesday through Friday. Each topic one by one, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with Friday the full video show, but on Tuesday the full audio show. And that'll do it for this week.
Yeah.
And if you want, I have my own little Anchor podcast on the side. If you want to check that out, Yo Rick Podcast. I'll put it in the description down below.
Yes, he will. I'm not he will.
Until next time.
How was some shit we like?